And on the in the virtual world, like you're running everything virtual. You're hardly ever in an office or next to somebody. What are the tools that you use to make that and manage that
Oh,
right?
man. Well, first of all, I use a couple of gals named Sharon and Grace. Do you know how long they've been with me now
Yeah,
from your organization? Seriously?
like
I think Sharon, 8 years now. It
yes.
might even be 9. But here's the great thing. You make one great hire, and then she, you know, I taught her how to hire. Then we hired Grace. And Grace has been with me, I think, 6 or 7. But I think number one is you have to have good people around you. You have to be willing to let go of the control of your calendar, which I did a long time ago. Well, most people are fearful of that. I can tell you it's the most freeing thing on the planet because I just get up and do what my calendar says to do. I don't spend a bunch of wasteful time trying to organize other people's, what day. I don't worry about that at all. I just say, schedule it with Ashley, schedule it with Cheryl, schedule it with Tegan. So giving up my calendar, to allowing people to schedule things was very freeing for me. It also keeps me from procrastination because even as much of a doer as I am, sometimes I can procrastinate something, but when it's on your calendar and it's set, there's no procrastination. You just do it. So I get, I think, a lot of stuff done. And then internally, we have a lot of different tools we use. We use Ben Kenny's Brevity, which the gals are very, very proficient at. We use that for a lot of different things. So I just think we have a lot of systems, and the great thing is I don't have to know how to run them all. They do, and that's what makes it even more awesomer.
So when you think back to when you first hired your first virtual assistant, like what were the limiting beliefs that now are gone that you had in the beginning?
Yeah, I thought that really the only things that they could do were really high citability things, something that required a high degree of citability and maybe not a lot of personal interaction, which is not true. They set appointments. They call our clients and they set appointments for my team leaders and my market centers. The limiting belief was that, well, we know how difficult it is to recruit and set appointments. So surely someone in another country that speaks another language as their primary language, surely they wouldn't be able to do this. And the truth is that's not the truth. And so once I learned how capable these ladies were and are, and gave them more control, not less, and so they understand the workload. Both of them have had babies in the last 12 months. So they're very, very good. They also know me super well now. So we hired another one who's Nikki. And so Grace and Cher oversee Nikki. And when we hired him, Nikki asked, well, is there anything I should know about Kristen? And boy, what they told him, I was on the phone. I want to say, hey, I'm right here. But what I learned from that is they have learned how I work. They know how busy I am. And so to their credit, they work their schedule around me, they know how I am. And they know that I'm teaching, I'm flying across the country, and that maybe on the weekends is the only time I'm going to have to catch up. And they're all three extremely loyal, and willing to learn anything. Yeah. So they're awesome.
What's been your 9 years in? What's been your return on investment in your mind?
I think if people had any idea, I talk about it all the time, but if people had any idea how much work they get done, because they don't have any distractions. I'm their distraction, really. Huh. But they don't have a lot of distractions, and so what it tells me too is how much could we get done when we don't have a lot of distractions. I guess my point is that as I've grown, they've grown too. and they become more systematized, more efficient. They'll go find it. They're also very, very good at protecting my money, which I love. Like if they can find a better system that costs less money, I love that too. And they'll come to me and say, oh, like, I'll give you an example. This seems like a trivial thing, but will make my point. The other day, Cher said, you know, I went into our Gmail account and there's some old email addresses that we're not using anymore. And those are $3 a piece. And so I went in and deleted blah, 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 and it's going to save us $45 a month. Doesn't seem like a lot of money, but when you always have people looking at your money like that and looking for a way to save money, I just know, I know that's how they are. They're always looking for a way to save money or find a better product that works better. And that saves me from having to really pay attention to that. Pay attention to finding a better mousetrap. I don't know if you know this, but a year or two ago, Nikki and Grace flew to Manila and they spent the day together with Cher, and their whole purpose was to film a happy birthday video for me.
Oh, wow.
So they did on their own money. They paid their own way. And basically in this video, they told me what I meant to them and how important I was to them. And it was, I mean, when I watched it, I cried because they very much are partners, and I've always worked very hard to make them feel that way because they are. And that day that they sent me that video, it just told me a lot. It told me a lot. So I knew our culture was alive and well.